Hey guys, this is a video I've been thinking of making for a while. It's not such a lesson video per se, but I think it's important and I think it's worth the time to think about. It's what kind of guitarist do you want to be? Some of you, maybe probably most of you, are more like a beginner level, because if you think about the curve, many beginners will start playing guitar and then some people will quit or stop, and then maybe, I don't know, half the beginners become intermediate, and then maybe only a small percentage of those people really put in the time and effort to become advanced players. So probably most people are beginners. And I think it's worth thinking about earlier in your career rather than later. What kind of guitarist do you want to be? Now in this case, I've got my electric guitar here, but let's think about some of the options. You could be, of course, an electric guitarist. You could be a nylon string guitarist. You could be a steel string guitarist. And I'm not saying anything is exclusive, of course. You can do multiple things, but I think it's impossible to do many things well. You can probably do a handful of things well. So for example, my playing, I focus on the nylon string guitar because that's what I play in my group Calidad, and I play the electric guitar in a kind of blues, rock and metal style because I love to do that. I've chosen in my guitar playing, I basically never play a steel string acoustic guitar. I actually don't own one. Even though they're cool, I just don't own one. I don't play any 12 string. I use almost no effects pedals. So that's one style of guitarist you could be, as someone who's very into technology and technical things such as effects, MIDI stuff, computer stuff. You could be somebody who loves to record your own music or record other people's music. So a studio style of knowledge, that's something I have basically zero interest or knowledge in. I choose to go to friends who are experienced audio people and I pay them for their expertise and their gear. One of the great divides in guitar playing, rhythm and lead playing, that's quite a classic thing. I'm definitely not saying you shouldn't do both, and I'm not saying you can't do both, or that a rhythm player shouldn't play some lead or a lead player shouldn't play some rhythm. Definitely, I don't think anyone should be 100% of either, but all of us seem to have either an inherent knack for rhythm, which is playing really tightly in time, holding the beat, or a lot of us have an inherent knack for melody, hearing notes, whistling notes, figuring out songs by ear or whatever. And I guess all I'm here to say to you today is that maybe by figuring out what your strengths and your weaknesses are, you can decide the path that you're going to chart on your guitar journey. So when I started, for example, I had a really bad ear. It was hard to tune the guitar. It was hard to hear notes. I struggled in music class, but I always had a pretty strong sense of rhythm. I could keep the time well. I could strum the chords well. So of course I became a rhythm guitarist. As the years progressed, I started a band with another friend who was an excellent rhythm guitarist, so I kind of got nudged toward the lead guitar and had to put an enormous amount of effort to be able to be a more melodic player. What else? You might be someone who likes to play covers. You might love learning other people's songs, or you might be someone who writes songs. I don't really spend any of my guitar time learning other people's songs. I'm busy enough practicing my own style and working on my own band's music. So that's something that's fallen by the wayside, is learning covers or other people's songs, even though that's really useful. Definitely I'll sometimes steal a blues lick here and there, or hear something really cool and want to know what the guitarist is doing, but I don't spend my whole practice sessions trying to nail a song. So yeah, all I'm saying to you today is have a think about what are your strengths and weaknesses. I generally advise with weaknesses, I used to think you should kind of work on your weaknesses. These days I kind of think really you should just choose your strengths and just really get good at that. So if you're really good at strumming chords, just, I would say, become an amazing rhythm guitarist and don't worry so much about lead guitar. If you are really good at writing stuff, you don't need to learn other people's songs. If you hate recording, don't record, let someone else record. If you love playing with computers and gadgets and effects pedals, do that and plunge deeply into the technology that's available. It's kind of like if you think of a video game, you know, you get a character and it's like speed, power, archery, sword fighting, whatever. You can't have all your sliders on 10. So we have to allocate our energy and our skill and our practice time and our money as well. Like you can't go and buy all the best gear and all the best studio gear and all the best pedals and all the best lessons and whatever else. Pay a backing band, you know, so you go, okay, I'm going to spend my guitar budget on whatever it is. In my case, I spent most of my guitar money and continue to on investing in my career, touring my band, making albums, producing merchandise, and I don't spend much of my gear. I've had this Gibson Les Paul since I was 13 years old. I play medium range Spanish guitars. I don't collect guitars or amps or effects. So you choose where your energy goes. And I think that earlier in your career, if you say, this is the kind of guitarist I want to be, roughly, of course you can have exceptions, but if you choose a general path, I think you can focus your practice more and you'll be a better player and have a more joyful journey on the guitar. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm very happy to talk about this. It took me many, many years to kind of develop this theory, so maybe if I can save you a few years of progress, I'd feel good. Thank you so much for watching.